Kingsview Wealth Management Chief Investment Officer, a Fox News contributor, a man of the people. Scotty Martin, howdy, Scotty with the nutty buddy. Say it to me.
With the
Scotty.
body karate.
That's right, with the body karate.
In a high-tax state, Kennedy.
Yes.
One of the other things you mentioned about those states that have recovered is, oh my gosh, look at tax policy, my friends, in some of those states. Not too bad. Florida not too far behind as well, but states like, gee, curiously, California, New York, Illinois, hello, not doing so well. Onerous government overreach and high tax policy as well, driving out businesses and driving away wealth.
Well, you know, on this show, we firmly believe that taxation is theft. And the larger the tax grab, the more power the state has over your life. And when they do that, they strangle freedom. And when businesses get strangled, they want to breathe, so they leave. And a lot of people took that opportunity. They booked those one-way U-Hauls to places like Arizona and Texas from California. Idaho and Utah also seeing a jobs boom. What is driving things there? Because we don't hear about them as much in these conversations when we talk about people in oppressive states relocating.
Yeah, it's true. And if they can afford the U-Hauls at that point after the states have taken everything from them, Kennedy, and that's kind of the interesting thing. That's what's maybe not too fair about some of this analysis is that leisure and hospitality certainly has been some of the hardest hit areas. So when you look at big cities like New York, you look at big cities that are in California, Los Angeles, San Francisco, you look at big cities like Chicago, they've taken a big hit. But my goodness, if you look at some of these other states that have kind of reinvented themselves, though, in leisure and hospitality and other industries, agriculture, certainly warehousing, transportation, things like that, those are areas that have actually been springing up and taking some of those leisure and hospitality jobs. I mean, personal story. I've been trying to get a reservation at Dorsia at 9 o'clock for two people forever. I can't get it in New York. It's impossible.
Yeah, unless you know Paul Allen.
I've called with Paul Allen on the phone, and I can't even get in. So it just goes to show you how a lot of these businesses have either closed or shut their doors temporarily, or frankly, the folks that would typically go to those places have left the states.
Yes, and you know, people who normally would go out and spend a lot of money, their high-rises where they work in Midtown, they're telling them not to show up. There's still, you know, record low occupancy rates during the day. And other people, they look around at the crime and the homelessness and the taxes. And, you know, that is a handwritten invitation to leave the city and leave the state. And that's what people are doing. I can't tell you how many people I know, including Carol Markowitz. We just had her on the show. She packed up. She was a lifelong New Yorker, packed up her family and moved her husband and her kids to Florida because they wanted to be in a place where their kids were not bound by these masks in schools. But there are other binding elements in small business that people have just had enough. Will these blue states, will they catch up, and what will make them hop on this trend?
They won't catch up, but they might catch on, and I'm worried about that because some of the folks from the blue states may go to the red states and poison them and turn them purple and then blue. I'm a little bit worried about that. And you mentioned something very interesting about small businesses. Kennedy, you look going forward in this U.S. economy that we have that is meandering along, struggling to recover, let's say at this point. A lot of the key to the future growth in both income and output is small business related. And so if those small businesses in your city or state are being driven out by onerous or, say, overreaching government policy, you mentioned the crime, you mentioned all the other factors that go into why people leave, that's something that a lot of these cities and states should be very concerned about going forward as we go into this, what we're told is this post-pandemic recovery.
Yeah, and, you know, giant corporations that are in bed with politicians like Target and Walmart, they love those minimum wage laws because it drives those small business, those direct competitors out of business. So you got to watch out for all of it. Thank goodness we have Scott Martin. Thank you, dear.